Over the last 12 months, I've made over $500,000 selling websites I created with AI in under 2 minutes. So in this video, I'm going to show you the exact steps and strategy I use so you can copy me and start a profitable 10K per month AI web design agency in 2026. You don't need to learn how to design or how to code. Even a complete beginner can follow these steps and start immediately selling these sites for $2,500. All you need is AI and a laptop. To start, I have to show you the strategy step by step we're using in my agency to land 8 to 10 clients every single week. Because if you just sell these websites, you're going to have to keep finding new clients over and over again. So let me show you how to stack that lucrative recurring revenue. Okay, first thing we're going to do is to find the roadmap. So obviously we are starting an AI web design agency. In this video, the first thing I'm going to show you to do is how to land high quality clients. Then we are going to craft a winning offer together. Then we're going to talk about service delivery, how you actually fulfill the service, how you build AI sites, how all of that works. And then the last thing we're going to talk about is the final touch. I'm going to give you a bit of an action plan. I'm going to tell you what to do moving forward, what to do next, and give you some pro tips. Okay, attracting high quality clients. To consistently bring in premium clients, you really only need these 3 key elements. A profitable niche, focus on an industry willing to pay top dollar for top results. You want to think about niches like accountants, roofers who have a lot of money but generally have bad websites, bad digital presence. Then you want to think about visibility. You need the right people seeing your work. You have to think about outreach, ads, networking, and then obviously you need an irresistible offer. Package your service in a way that solves a real problem, making saying yes easy. So that's really, really important, and that's all you have to think about. But those will give you a massive foundation. Those will give you a really, really good foundation to actually do well in terms of client acquisition. So it all starts with a profitable niche. Again, you know, we've talked about this in terms of your profitable niche. Think about things like roofers, accountants, even things like lawyers, or things like pretty much any niche can work for this, but I call them gold mine niches. When thinking about a profitable niche, I want you to think about gold mine niches. So niches that have high revenue and bad digital presence. If you think about a niche like, say, gyms, for example, obviously gyms need a good website. Generally, they'll be able to afford a website, but a lot of them will have good websites already. So you'll have to go through a lot more leads. You'll have to go through a lot more gyms to get someone that will fit for your service. Whereas if we compare that to an accountant or to a roofer, you're going to book way more meetings because generally that niche is just better for what we're doing. So that's what I mean when I talk about a gold mine niche. In terms of client acquisition methods, the best two by far are cold calling and cold email. These are just going to be the best methods because we've tested everything in my own agency. Cold calling and cold email just work really, really well on this offer. And it's because in America, most small businesses just have terrible websites. So if you reach out to them and you see they don't have a website, you're just going to book loads and loads of meetings saying you've built them a fully custom SEO optimized website. In terms of cold calling, what you're going to do is you're going to use Google Maps. I recommend Instant Data Scraper in terms of how you would get leads. So if we come up here and we say leads, you're going to use Instant Data Scraper. It's a Chrome extension on Google Maps. You'll be able to filter and check if they have a website really, really easily. But this is important for cold calling because if we go over here to cold email, we're going to be sending out tons and tons of volume. But on cold calls, you can't do tons of volume. So you have to actually filter by website or no website. Whether you're doing it yourself or you have a team of dialers doing it like we do in my agency, you need to give them a good, strong lead list. So what you're going to do is you're going to spot the company's pain points, you're going to understand their main goal, and you need to find the decision maker who's most responsive and focus on them. Because if you're not speaking to the decision maker, you're going to hit a ton of gatekeepers and you're not going to book very many meetings. So those are the 2 main methods that we're going to be using for outreach. Cold email, where we're going to be doing a ton of volume. Cold email, if you're sending out, I would say roughly, let's say you're sending out 1,000 emails per day. That will book you roughly 4 to 5 calls per week. In terms of cold calls, if you did something like 50 calls per day, whether again it's you or your dialer, this will book you another 4 to 5 calls per week. And again, if you're doing both of these, so now, you know, we talked about doing cold calling and cold email. If you're doing 50 calls per day and you have your email campaigns running, like we said, 1,000 per day, that's then coming up at 10 calls per week. So that's perfect for a beginner, 10 calls per week, roughly 2 per day. It's not going to overwhelm you. It's not going to be anything crazy, but it means you can land 3, 4, 5 clients per week and actually start to scale and get some momentum and get some cash in the door. And obviously, that's why we're doing all this, to get cash, to build our business, to get some momentum. So that should show you how powerful this is. You don't have to do them both, but if you do them both, you will book 10 meetings per week. It's as simple as that. Okay, create a winning offer. What is your actual value proposition to actually make this work and book a ton of meetings? Let's go in and look at the doc I've prepared. So service, offer, and pricing. I'm going to run through this really, really quickly because you don't actually need to overcomplicate this, but what you want to do is build a lean offer that scales. At the start of your agency, most people overcomplicate this and they offer a ton of services and their pricing is all over the shop. What you want to do is you want to offer your websites for 1 to 2K. Then your hosting is going to be $99 to $149 per month. Hosting is just, you host their domain and you keep their site secure. It's really, really simple. So you're going to sell these sites for 1 to 2K. Now, if you want to upsell anything, you can upsell SEO, Google reviews, database reactivation. I'm not going to go through this in detail in terms of what you would charge for the upsells because the whole point of this video is obviously the websites, but you can pause this and go through this if the upsells is something that appeals to you. Again, Facebook and Google ads, you can charge 1 to 2K for this. And in terms of the core offer stack, it's going to be the AI website. It's then going to be site hosting. It's then going to be go high level services or Facebook and Google ads. And it works really, really well because once you sell them the website and you've built that relationship and you've built that rapport, you will then be able to upsell them very warmly because you already have that relationship. But going back from the upsells, if we just go to the AI website, remember you're doing warm outreach because you're telling these companies you've already built the site. When the prospect shows interest, you leverage AI to create a killer site. You add their logo, name, contact information, any minor changes they need. You launch it with their domain in under a week and you charge $1,000 to $2,000 for the website. And then you charge $99 to $149 for hosting. Really, really simple. This is how you optimize their online presence and build them a website and actually bring value to businesses and create that rapport. And then if you want to upsell them, you can. Okay, step 4, service delivery. So now we're going to talk about service delivery. How do you actually build out these AI sites? So you're going to use AI tools, obviously, to create the sites. What you want to do is you want to create a lovable prompt using ChatGPT. So you literally go to ChatGPT, type in, can you create me a slick and professional website prompt for Lovable to create a landscaping website? Then you're going to go to Lovable and you're going to put that prompt in, and Lovable is going to create you a site in literally 5 minutes. What Lovable can do is absolutely incredible. And I suppose I can talk about Lovable until the cows come home. The best way for me to show you how Lovable actually creates these sites and what these sites can look like is to literally show you a site that I created earlier this week on Lovable. So here we are on Lovable. This is a website we created earlier in the week for a cafe or a coffee shop, and you can see how good this looks. Really high quality. This was all done by AI, and in terms of like their menu and what they sell and how all this looks, we literally just put in their previous website, which wasn't that good. It scraped all the information and put it into this new website, which looks brilliant. I think this looks really, really nice. And this is just the homepage, but you can see the quality. Now, if you were to build this out for a company that doesn't have a website and they think that you've put on all the manual labor and built this out from scratch, it's going to blow them away. So this should get you excited and show you how powerful these AI builders are. It literally built this in 5 minutes, and this is better than 99% of the websites the average web design agency would build. 100% this is better. Okay, step 5, final touch and mastering the details. So I just want to give you some pro tips to go out there and make this happen. Keep your outreach consistent. If you land a client or you have a bad day, don't stop doing outreach. This is really, really important. Keep your outreach consistent. Do not hold back. Stand firm on your prices. If you decrease your prices, it makes you look desperate and it lowers your authority. It does not look good to the client. Limit revisions, stay efficient and focused. If a client's asking you for 1 million revisions, do not give in to that. That's just going to be going back and forth and it's a red flag. Always start with wireframes to map out the project. To be honest, you can just start with Lovable. Like all your demo sites can just start with Lovable. It will create an amazing website in 5 minutes. Just start everything with Lovable using the process I just showed you. Don't obsess over every sale. You're not going to close every client. You're not going to close every sale. Don't get annoyed or frustrated if you don't get a sale. It happens. You should be closing 1 in 3. That's what you should aim for. And over time, prioritize recurring revenue by upselling them, like on that document we discussed. Obviously, the cash and the front end wins will be massive with the websites, but eventually you want that recurring revenue so you don't have to constantly refill your bucket every single month. And again, if you literally just follow everything we discussed in this video in terms of defining the roadmap, in terms of attracting high quality clients with cold email and cold calling, creating that winning offer on the doc we discussed, then service delivery, creating the websites unlovable, and then following these pro tips. It is extremely difficult if you just stay consistent with this not to hit 10K per month. I mean, in 30, 60, 90 days, like you have to sell 4 or 5 sites. Like, as I said, if you do the email marketing and you do the cold calling, you should be booking 10 meetings per week following this strategy. So really not that difficult. Just go out there and make it happen. Follow everything in this video and just stay consistent, because success is on the other side of consistency. And the problem with most agency owners is they aren't consistent. So follow everything in this video and you will see success. Just stay consistent. Now that you know how to start a 10K per month AI web design agency, you still need to get clients to book meetings so you can show the website and close them. So watch this video next, because it'll show you my exact cold calling script that books me 3 to 5 meetings per day and makes my agency $49,000 per month.